Hi, welcome back. My name is Andy. Thanks for being here. Today we're going to go through a practice where we are releasing fear and expectations. So we'll go through a flow to a peak pose that is fun but challenging. And again, just kind of letting go of any expectations today and just having fun. Okay, if you do have two blocks, a blanket, a bolster, whatever you need for your practice today, go ahead and grab those. And we actually will just start in seated. So I've got a blanket underneath my hips, and then just sitting up nice and tall, rooting down through the sit bones. And hands can come to the knees. And if it feels okay, maybe close the eyes or just soften your gaze. We'll just start to tune in here to the breath. And from here, let's take our 3 cleansing breaths. So just a deep inhale through the nose, filling all the way up. When you get to the top, let's just open the mouth and sigh it out. 2 more, inhaling fully. Exhaling completely. Last one, just inhaling everything that's serving you. As you exhale, exhaling everything out that's not. And then just taking an easy breath in and out through the nose. And then just starting to cultivate a rhythmic control of breath that you can carry throughout your practice. If any time during the practice you start to lose the breath, feel free to come to any supportive posture and just connect back to the breath. And the mind wants to wander, that's okay. Try not to ruminate on the past or the future. Just letting go of all expectations. And keep the eyes closed down if you'd like, or start to flutter them open. We'll take the arms down by the sides, and on an inhale, let's reach up. Exhale, release. 2 more just like that. Inhaling. We'll start to add on. As we inhale, we'll reach the arms up overhead. On an exhale, let's twist over to the left. Left hand comes behind, right hand on the knee. With every inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, twist to the other side. Let's do that one more time on each side. Inhale, reach it. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to center, reach the arms up, and then exhale, hands back to the knees. Go ahead and switch the crossing of the ankles. And from here, let's find a little seated cat-cow. So hands come to the knees. On an inhale, let's pull the heart through. And then exhale, start to round, drop the chin. Inhale, broaden through the collarbone. And then exhale, round. Adding any little movements that you might need as we just start to wake up through the spine. And then exhale, release. We'll come into our lateral bend. So go ahead and plant the left hand down. Really root down through our hips here. Find some length and then start to reach overhead. As you exhale, we're gonna start to sweep through center here, just finding a little fluid movement. Really root down through the hips. Find some length in the right side body and then start to reach overhead. And then exhale, let's sweep it. We'll find that one more time on each side. Exhale, release. On an exhale, let's sweep it through center. Let's just find a forward fold. Go to just drop the head here. Maybe shake the head side to side. Release the neck. And start to walk it back up. We're going to come over to hands and knees. So coming into our tabletop. Got a blanket, you can always pad underneath the knees. Awesome. From here, let's come into our tabletop. So pushing down into the hands, shoulders are over the wrist. And let's just find some circles here. So taking the hips back. Just find some circles going one way. And then before you take it back the other way, maybe try tucking the toes. Stretching out through the feet. And we'll meet back in a tabletop when you're ready. And we'll come into some cat-cows. Option variation here to take the left foot out to the side, pushing into the outside edge of the left foot. And then from here, finding our cat-cow. So on an inhale, start to drop the low belly, pull the heart through. And then exhale, round. Inhale, pull the heart through. And then exhale, round. So just oscillating here between your cat-cow. We'll meet back in center. Go ahead and take this left leg back. And from here, if you'd like, start to extend the right arm forward. So we're coming into a bird dog. Option to stay here if you like a little bit of movement, maybe elbow to knee. You could always just find some stillness here. Engaging the low belly. Finding your breath. We'll start to plant the right hand down. We'll cross the left leg over the right, and we'll just look over our right shoulder. Breathing into the left side body. Start to untuck the toes. We'll sink it back for a little modified pigeon pose. You can come down to the forearms, or you can stay up on the hands. You can always grab a bolster to make this a little bit more supportive. But we'll just be here for a couple breaths. As you exhale, see if you can soften into the hips. On an inhale, let's start to look forward, coming back up to hands and knees. And maybe just finding a little bit of movement here, a little tail wag side to side. Awesome, we'll take it in to the other side. So extending the right leg out to the side, we'll find our cat-cow. So on an inhale, start to drop the belly, pull the heart through. And then exhale, round. So just connecting your breath with your movement here. We'll meet back in a neutral spine when you're ready. We'll start to draw the right leg back, extending the right leg back, left arm forward this time, coming into a bird dog. Always have the option here to keep the toes planted. Option also to add some movement. But wherever you're at, we're just focusing on the breath. Engaging the low belly. On an exhale, let's plant the left hand down across the right, over the left, peering over the left shoulder, breathing into our right side body. Start to untuck the toes, sinking back. On an inhale, we'll start to look forward, coming back up to hands and knees, finding any little movement that you need. And then we'll take the knees wide, big toes to touch, we'll sink back for a child's pose. Extending the arms out in front, dropping the forehead down. On an inhale, let's look forward. We'll walk our hands over to the left and start to sink the hips back. Inhale, look forward, taking our hands to the other side. And then back to center. Coming back up to hands and knees. Start to curl the toes. We're going to lift the hips coming into our first downward facing dog. For this first one, maybe bend into the knees a lot and see if you can get the hips up a little higher. You can always pedal out the feet. Pushing down into the hands. And start to find some stillness. On an inhale, let's look at the top of the mat. We'll go ahead and step to meet our hands. Maybe just some baby steps to get there. And then big bend into the knees. Let's find our forward fold. So allowing the head to hang. On an inhale, let's halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach it up. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale, we'll draw the hands back to heart center. And just taking a moment here, connecting to the breath. Again, just letting go of any expectations or fear. When you're ready, we'll draw the arms down by the sides. On an inhale, let's reach it up. Exhale, swan dive forward, find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's plant the hands, let's step it back. Option to lower down through plank pose or just drop down to the knees. We'll all meet on our bellies. And then from here, we'll take a little variation on cobra pose. So taking the fingertips out to the sides, to the corners of the mat. You're going to push into the tops of the feet, draw the shoulders down the back. Inhale, pull the heart through. And then exhale over. So two more, just like that. Inhaling, your size back bend here. Exhale. Last one. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead and come into our crocodile. Stack the hands, draw the forehead down. And just take a moment here, just kind of noticing the sensations in the low back. And when you're ready, let's inhale. Look forward, plant the hands. Hands and knees, curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's look at the top of the mat. Let's step with the right foot this time, followed by the left. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, reach it up. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, let's cactus the arms, offer the heart, a little back bend, look up. And then exhale, find your forward fold. Plant the hands, let's step it back, lower down through plank or drop down to the knees. Lowering down for your cobra here. And then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. We'll flow through that one more time. Inhale, look at the top of the mat. We'll step with the left foot this time, followed by the right. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Root to rise, reach it up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Getting back in our forward fold. Plant the hands, we'll step it back. Lowering down to the knees. Your back bend. Meet back in downward facing dog for 2 breaths. When you're ready, right leg flex. Let's take it all the way through. Inhale, crescent pose. Root to rise, reach it up. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, let's let it go. We'll plant the left knee down. We're gonna go ahead and scoot back, sit back onto our sit bones, finding Gomukhasana. You can grab onto the ankles here, and you can sit up nice and tall. It's a great place to be, or if you'd like, maybe start to fold forward. And slowly start to unwind. Going back up to hands and knees. Curl the toes, downward facing dog. Let's take a breath. Left leg flies, we'll take it all the way through. Inhale, crescent pose, take your time. Reach it up. Engage the low belly. On an exhale, let's take it down, drop the right knee. We're gonna cross the legs over, coming into Gomukhasana. Sitting up nice and tall. Option to stay here or start to fold forward. Inhale, let's look forward. Slowly start to unwind, coming back into our downward facing dog. Lift the hips. Take a breath. Inhale, right leg flex. We're gonna take the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Okay, so setting up for lizard pose. So take your time here. You can always pad the left knee. We'll drop it down. Okay, option to stay here, or you can roll to the outside edge of the right foot. If you do that, make sure you flex the toes. You can stay up high. You can always come down to the forearms, grab blocks, bolster, whatever you need. And slowly start to walk it back up. Curl the left toes under. Step it back, plank pose. Option to lower down through plank or drop down to the knees. We'll find a cobra. And then we all meet in downward facing dog. Take a breath. Left leg flies. We'll take it to the outside of the left hand. Setting up for a lizard pose. Take your time, dropping the right knee down. Option to heel toe that left foot out. Option to come onto the outside edge of the left foot, flexing the toes. Just taking your variation here. Breathing. Inhale, let's look forward, making our way back up, curling the right toes under, step it back, plank pose, finding your vinyasa. Downward facing dog is where we'll meet. From here, let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. As you exhale, bubble the lips and let it go. 2 more, inhaling. Exhale, let it go. Last one. Beautiful. When you're ready, inhale, let's look at the top of the mat. Let's step to meet our hands. Big bend into the knees. Let's sit back, chair pose. Engage the low belly. Sink back into the heels so that maybe you can fluff up the toes. And from here, let's go ahead and just cactus the arms, offer the heart. Maybe sink down a little deeper if you can. Hands to heart centers. Go ahead and come all the way up to stand. Go ahead and just shake it out. We'll meet at the top of the mat. When you're ready, inhale, let's reach it up. Exhale, release. Halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Let's step it back. Taking your vinyasa or skip the vinyasa and we'll just all meet in downward facing dog. Right leg flies. Let's take it all the way through. Inhale, crescent pose. Take it up. Awesome. Hands to heart center. Let's draw the back foot in about halfway. You've got your blocks there if you'd like to use them. On the high side, we're going to come into warrior 3. So using your block is always available for you. A little extra support. Awesome. When you're ready, nice and slow, we're going to start to bend into the left knee and we'll draw the knee up towards the chest. One-legged Tadasana. One more breath here. On an exhale, let's let it go, shake it out. Awesome. Try that on the other side. When you're ready, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, let it go. Halfway lift. Exhale, step it back either to your downward facing dog, or if you like to throw in a vinyasa, Your time choosing what you need in the moment. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Right leg flat. Let's take it all the way through. Crescent pose, reach it up. Awesome. Switch it up. I'm wrong side, left leg. If you're following with me, sorry. If you caught it early, good. When you're ready, crescent pose. Other side. Hands to heart center. Bring this back foot in about halfway. Okay, we'll start to hinge, finding our warrior three. Again, you can always use the block here for some support. Toes are pointing down towards the mat. We're trying to get the leg hip level. Doesn't have to be there today. And then when you're ready, start to bend into the right knee. Knee to the chest, one-legged Tadasana. Find the balance. If you fall out of it, that's okay. Letting go of any expectations today. Awesome. Exhale. We'll let it go. Shake it off. Awesome. Inhale. Let's reach it up. Exhale. Let it go. Halfway lift. Exhale. Forward fold. Let's step it back. Drop down to the knees. Child's pose. Take a breath. Connecting back to the breath, back to the intention. Slow down the breath. You can bubble the lips, let it go. Just know that every time we come to our mat, it's a different practice, but that's just what it is, a practice. So try not to hold on to anything. Move into some more balancing. Just know that from day to day, our balance is different. When you're ready, we'll come back into our tabletop. Okay, start to curl the toes. We'll lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Right leg flies. Let's take it all the way through. Inhale, crescent pose. Reach it up. Take a breath. Find your drishti. Find something in the room that's not moving that can help with balance. Hands to heart center. Warrior three. Knee to the chest. Option to stay here or start to cross the left ankle over the right, and we'll sit back chair pose. Okay, option to stay here, or you can start to fold forward. You can always grab your blocks. Sink down into the hips. Keep those left toes flexed. When you're ready, let's root to rise. Let it go, shake it out. We'll try that on the other side. To exhale, just let it go. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, move through a vinyasa, or just step back into your downward facing dog and take a couple extra breaths here. When you're ready, left leg flies. Take it all the way through. Inhale, crescent pose. Hands to heart center, warrior three. Knee to chest. Option just to hang out right here. This is great. Or start to cross the ankle over the thigh. Maybe start to sink it back. Chair pose. Got some some blocks there for support, use them. Keep pulling the heart through. Inhale to stand. Shake it out. Awesome. When you're ready, inhale, let's reach the arms up. We'll take the right hand, grab onto the left wrist. We'll find a little length on the left side and then take it over to the right. Back to center, we'll switch it out, grabbing onto the right wrist, finding some length. Awesome, back to center. Awesome. Let's go ahead and let it go. And from here, let's find our forward fold. Awesome, let's just step it back. Drop down to the knees. And then from here, we're gonna come into our peak pose, but if you're not feeling like this is the day for it, that's fine. I wanna give you an option though that you can do on the mat. So it's a pretty big hip opener coming into flying pigeon, okay? So if you would like, you can come onto your back and find figure four, or you can also just come here, finding your figure four here, okay? So either here or on your back, and just hang out here, okay? When we come to the other side, you can just switch it out and just work on opening the hips. Awesome, so you're going for it. Let's go ahead, coming into our downward facing dog. Right leg flies, let's take it through. Inhale, crescent pose. Heart center, warrior three. Drawing the knee into the chest. We'll cross it over and sink it back. Now option, you can use your blocks on the medium side if you'd like. Just helps get the hips up a little bit higher. And then from here, we're gonna wrap our toes around the right bicep. Left knee comes into the armpit, okay? Now this is that fear thing, right? The fear of falling. So just let go of any expectation, surrender to the fear. Start to look forward, okay? If you look just straight down, you're not gonna go anywhere. So you've gotta look forward. Start to lean in, think chaturanga arms, and then maybe you start to play around just lifting the foot off the mat, okay? If you've got that, maybe you take flight, extending the right leg out. Feel free to play around with that. Once you've had your fill, we'll go ahead, come to stand, shake it out. Do a little chicken action. Release the wrists. Awesome. We'll take it into the other side. So if you're still down on the floor, go ahead and switch to the other side. And then we'll move into downward facing dog. Take a breath, let it go. Maybe bubble the lips. Left leg flies, we'll take it all the way through. Inhale, crescent. Awesome, warrior three. Knee to chest. Cross it over. One side might be a little tighter than the other, that's okay. Okay, if you're going for it, go ahead and wrap the toes. Knee is in the armpit, okay? Get nice and tight. Look forward. Maybe just play around with taking the toe off. Maybe you take flight. Maybe not. It's okay. And then back to center. Yeah, that side's a little tighter. Awesome. Go ahead and just shake it out. If you're still playing around with it, go feel free. Awesome. Go ahead and take our blocks and we'll take them to the side. We'll meet at the top of the mat when you're ready. Just shake it out, let it go. On an inhale, we'll draw the shoulders up by the ears, and on an exhale, release. Couple more. Last one. Beautiful. On an inhale, let's reach it up. Exhale, release, letting go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's plant the hands, let's step it back. Moving through one last vinyasa if you're going for it. Downward facing dog as we're rolled. From here, let's step to the center of our mat. We'll cross the ankles and we'll sit back, just coming to a seat. Let's go ahead and draw the feet together, coming into Pada Galavasana. Maybe a little dynamic movement here to start. And then option to take this with a little bit of a heart opener, arms behind you. If you feel like folding forward, that of course is an option too. Just taking some time here, letting go of expectations. Just being proud of where you're at, because that's exactly where you need to be. And then when you're ready, we'll extend the legs out in front. Maybe jog the knees up and down a little bit, let go. Awesome. From here, let's inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and then exhale, we'll find a forward fold. With every inhale, try to lengthen up out of the low back. With every exhale, fold forward. Inhale, we'll slowly unwind. And let's twist. So either placing the right foot inside the left thigh or take it across. Okay. Keep those left toes flexed, pushing down into the left leg, keeping this left leg nice and active. Okay. Option to turn to the right and just hug the leg in. Perfect place to be. Or placing the right hand behind, maybe taking the elbow to the outside of the knee. Gaze can come over the right shoulder, but if that's too much on the neck, you can just keep it right above the chest. Slowly unwind, taking both legs out in front, maybe jog the knees a little bit. And we'll take it into the other side. So foot to the inside of the thigh or cross it over. Keep our right leg nice and active. And maybe we're just hugging the knee in. Okay? Or if you want to take it a little further, just wherever you're at. We'll slowly unwind. Find a little bit of movement. Awesome. And then from here, let's come into our boat pose. Option if you've got a block, you might use the block here, just change it up a little bit. But if you don't have one or you don't want to use it, that's okay. So lots of options for your boat, right? So you can keep the heels planted, sitting up nice and tall. You don't want to lose the expansion here in the chest, okay? Maybe start to draw those heels off the mat, okay? If you start to kind of collapse here though, that's kind of a good indicator to maybe just take it down a notch. So nice open chest, try to relax the jaw, relax the face. If you've got your block, we're just gonna twist. So coming over to the right and over to the left. Option to add some little bicycle legs, if that's calling you. Awesome. We'll come back to center, hold, breathe. Awesome, let's go ahead and release. Take a moment. We'll do one more round. When you're ready, having a block handy for a supported bridge after we get done, if you would like to come into that. So one more round, your choice here. You can keep the hands behind the thighs, you can extend the arms out. You can do straight arms, straight legs. I like to add a little bit of movement in my boat, so maybe toe taps. Breathing. Awesome. Go ahead and plant the feet. We'll come onto our backs. So when you're ready, start to reach the arms forward, and we're just going to try to slowly roll on back. So kind of think cat back here. Engage the belly. Take it nice and slow. Making our way onto our backs. If you're coming into a supported bridge, go ahead and grab your block. You can just come into regular bridge if you'd like. But when you're ready, we'll start to push down into the heels. Let's lift the hips. And then that block can either be on the medium side or low side, right underneath the sacrum. I'm just taking a moment here. Release. Just take two really intentional breaths here. When you feel ready, we'll push down into the heels. We'll lift up off the block, and then just slowly lower vertebrae by vertebrae, making our way back down to the mat. Nice and slow. Just taking a pause here at the bottom, allowing the small of the back to rest here for a moment. Let's go ahead and take the feet just slightly wider than the hips. We'll take the knees over to the right and over to the left. Just a couple times each side. And when your knees make it over to the right, let's pause there. back to center. Allow them to fall over to the left. Pausing here. And back to center. Let's walk the feet back in so they're about hip distance apart. And just a gentle tuck of the tailbone, making sure the small of the back is pressed firmly down into the mat. And then from here, let's take one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And from here, let's just practice a little pranayama, a little breathing, slowing it all down. Let's try inhaling to the count of 4, and then exhaling to the count of 6. So inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing with this count in your head. One more round. When you're ready, you slowly take the feet out towards the corners of the mat. We're going to set up for final Shavasana. So if there's any props that you need, a blanket underneath the knees, or any supportive posture that you need to take, any last little movements that the body needs. Just preparing yourself for rest. when you feel ready, start to wiggle the fingers and toes. If you have the availability to stay here for a few minutes longer, please do. Slowly making our way up to a comfortable seat. And just taking a moment here to be grateful for the practice, grateful to be here, the ability to take yoga off of our mat, releasing fear and expectations, and using that towards our daily life. Knowing we don't have control, but we do have the ability to practice these things on our mat and then take them off and apply them. It's been my honor to guide you. The light within me sees and honors the light within you. Namaste.